Then ask Grandma and Grandpa. They'll give you money. I would do the same. Monica, they can barely make ends meet on their own. Well, then ask your uncle or aunt. You're driving me crazy. I don't have any rich relatives unlike you, so there's no chance. All right, suppose you have no one to ask money from. But I know one thing. You give up too quickly. You don't even try. You always think that nothing will work out. And of course, nothing will. Her last words made me listen. Moni had said something similar to me too. Perhaps there was some truth in it. Monica had many flaws, but one thing she couldn't be denied was that she really never gave up. At school, Monica wasn't brilliant in talent, yet she somehow managed to ace every test and exam. Recess ended, and we returned to class. I thought to myself that one really mustn't be so pessimistic. When classes were over, I ran home, had lunch, grabbed Moni, and headed into the forest with him. I struggled to wait until we reached our secret spot. Once we got there, I burst out, "I've only had trouble because of your ideas." Mom made fun of me when she discovered my piggy banks. She calculated that it would take me 40 years to fly to America. By then, I'd already be a grandmother. Moni stared at me silently. Then he lowered his head. His expression looked very sad. Finally, I heard his soft voice. "Do you really want to go to America? And do you truly need a laptop?" "Of course," I declared firmly, surprised even at my own certainty. The piggy banks, the half-finished dream album, and everything I had imagined somehow filled me with confidence. "Good," Moni said, not taking his eyes off me. "That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter how you acquire all of that. The key is to desire it strongly. Otherwise, you'll give up as soon as the first difficulties arise." He was right. The argument with Mom had only made me more determined. I absolutely had to fulfill my dream. "I never said it would be easy," Moni continued. "Yes, but I didn't expect that from Mom. Problems that hit us hard always come from where you least expect them. But now let's think about where you can get money before you become a grandmother." "It's pointless," I replied. "I already talked with Monica. I have no rich relatives to ask money from. I'm just in despair." Moni started digging into the dirt with his paw, irritated. "You're too focused on the fact that nothing will work out for you. You can earn money." I got angry with myself. I was planning to shake off my pessimism. But how can a 12-year-old girl earn money? Then an idea struck me. I could, for example, mow our lawn for a few euros. Moni, it seemed, didn't share my enthusiasm. "You live in a family and already use the garden. You're supposed to help out at home without asking for money. Your parents do so much for you without charging you for it." "Then how on earth am I supposed to earn money, pray tell?" "Nothing could be simpler," Moni replied. "Later, I'll tell you the story of a boy named Daryl. By the age of 17, he earned several million, even though he was just an ordinary kid. But before that, I must tell you one very important thing. Whether you earn money or not doesn't depend on having a good idea. It doesn't even matter how hard you work. The main thing is self-confidence." "Self-confidence? And what does that have to do with money?" Moni stood up, his whole demeanor signaling that he was about to say something very important. "Self-confidence determines whether you consider yourself capable of something, whether you believe in yourself. Otherwise, you won't even start working on it, and if you don't start, you'll never accomplish anything." I'm not sure I understood him correctly, but a story came to mind. Recently, I simply forgot to prepare for a test. My classmates only reminded me of it that morning at school. I know I remember things very quickly, so I decided to skip the art class and sat with my textbook on a bench in the schoolyard. Even though I didn't get an A, I still managed to write the test. But if I weren't confident in myself, I wouldn't even have bothered to prepare. "Excellent," Moni declared triumphantly. "That is exactly what self-confidence is." I forgot once again that he could read my thoughts. "It seems I don't have much of that confidence," I said thoughtfully. "That's true, but you can easily acquire it. Want to know how?" "Of course," I replied quickly. "Then I'll explain. Take a blank notebook and write on the cover, Success journal. Then start writing down the things you've succeeded at. It's best to do this every day and to find at least 5 successes, even if they're small. At first, it won't be easy. You'll wonder whether a certain event counts as a success. In case of doubt, lean toward considering it a success. It's better if you end up with more self-confidence. After a moment of silence, Mani continued, "Start right now.